episode of Halftime. I'm here with Sabrina Wilson, and I'll let you tell your title, and then we'll get into a conversation.
Oh, I am the majority leader, town council member since 2019. And I am also the chair of the Democratic Town Committee here in East Hartford as well as of last year.
Nice. Congratulations on all of that. So how long have you been doing this?
Community engagement is what I call it. I've been a community engagement leader for as long as I can remember. Prior to me relocating here in Connecticut, I'm originally from New York City. So I would say since the late 1990s, early 2000s, I've been doing community engagement in some form of level, whether it's in the public schools where I work with families, building community partnerships. I've enjoyed making sure that community people have the resources and things they need to make a living.
So what got you into local politics?
I've always been involved with local politics. I've been involved since New York City. It's just a calling in my life. It's just me making sure that people are aware of their rights, holding people accountable to what they say they want to do. So from knocking doors for legislators and leaders in New York City to come here in 2016, and I became a member of the town committee, and then went for council in 2019, and then chair as of 2024. Don't have anything great to say I'm leading this all up into something. I just enjoy the work that I do.
Love it. But did you have influences growing up that kind of showed you the importance of public service?
Mm-hmm. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, so watching some of the local council members, following the advocacy of their work in the community, seeing the things that they were doing, wanting to always help individuals in that way. So I still follow some of the people out in New York still, because I still love some of the things that were the grassroots foundations for some of the work that I think helps people individually to be able to make a living, be able to make sense of this world. Sometimes people just don't know where to go. And I feel like government has that ability to provide those resources and information to allow them to make a better life for themselves.
So you mentioned grassroots. I always say that everything in the world grows up, nothing grows down. Mm-hmm. How does that play out in your work?
Heavily informed with just, you know, whether it is food information or housing information. I feel like there's a lot of resources, and at times people are just not knowledgeable where it comes from.
Right.
So I feel like there's so many resources, and we just I don't know. There are times where you're in, certain areas of the world, and you just don't have any idea that they are there. So it just makes that accessible to people. Go to where the people are, meet them where they are. To those, particular resources that are, whether it's food, housing, clothing, transportation needs, finding jobs.
Yeah.
One of the things that got me started here, I would say, was one of the beginning stages of me here was the it was a challenge. It was a Working Cities challenge that was with the Fed. And so it was a grant that we won here. We call it East Hartford Works. That particular grant allows people to get job training and job placement. It is based with the town under health department right now. And so you can look it up. And what they do is they provide avenues, places, partnerships between Pratt and Whitney to Goodwin University to be able to get employment and training. Also providing stipends, so that's what got me kind of started a little bit. I knocked doors for them. I was the face of the grant. They just redid an article with me in it, and it basically allowed me to talk to residents in the Silver Lane community and talk about things that they need. And I was just like, wow, you can go here for that, you can go there for that. And at the time, I was working at the school in the public school system, and I just happened to just know the needs of the people, know the needs of what they needed, and we put it all into, we did the data, we found out what they need, we did the numbers, and we were like, hey, people are looking for just jobs, and transportation needs is an issue, childcare was an issue, And being able to say, out of everything that we collected, information wise, we think job training and job placement with some type of stipend, if childcare is needed, to resource them for that, and that would help them, improve the quality of their life. So that was the Working Cities Challenge back in 17, 18, which was a grant, and we were awarded for that grant, and it was good. It was good. It was good work that was done here. And then from there, the work that I did in the public school system as a liaison, works it into the actual parents. I moved forward to saying, you know what? When the opportunity came at council, I ran, and the parents remembered me.
That's great.
They remember the work that I did, and that's how I got here.
So talk to me about that. If someone were interested in getting involved in local politics, what would you suggest?
I say join a board of commission. I also did that. I did the Board of Assessment and Appeals. Do a board of commission, come on to the town committee, learn. I'm looking for people to teach people all the time about how the system works. Volunteering, getting involved. I would love to teach a group of young people in different schools about political, just community work. I know they need the 30, 60 hours in high school and whatever, but it would be great to get them involved in how government works. It moves extremely slow, but it works and it's effective when it's done well, right? And so just having them understand that things is not, it's easy or just, transparent. Sometimes you have to get behind the scenes and see the little bits and pieces of the economic development, zoning, the process, the permits that have to go into making sure certain things get approved and done. And so you just have to know the process. That's just life. You just need to know the process of everything to make sure that you understand how things work.
I think that's an important piece. I know as a longtime public school principal, things move really slow in the public sector, right? And I don't think people understand that even though we have these great ideas and we want them to happen now, you're talking about moving a big machine. What would you say to somebody who's frustrated that their needs aren't being met and don't really understand that, like all of the components of how to make things happen?
It depends on what the issue is. I would say, let's talk about what it is your frustration is about, right?
Yeah.
And where did you initially get your information from? Today, people gain information strictly through social media and nothing from where it is. Like, are you reading the ordinance? Are you reading the state statutes? Is that what it says? That's what it does. Did you yourself read it, understood it? Go to the source of
Or even understand who works here.
Correct. Understanding how things get done, like town clerks and registrar office,
Right.
Council, mayor's office, how all these components wrap up, and the volunteer positions I'm talking about are like inlands and wetlands and zonings and stuff like that, of be able to clear economic development to get moving to the next stage.
Right.
The permit process, why we have taxes. What do those taxes pay for? Property. It pays for everything. Fire, police. The reason why the mill rate is the way it is. What does it pay for?
What is a mill rate?
What is a mill rate? How do we get to the percentage of a mill rate, right? How does that get? Car taxes. Why do we need these things? How does local government work? So understanding all of that, and I think it's important. People just need to go to the source for information and not social media is good when it's used well to, I think, advertise or educate you about the evidence of stuff, right? But I think we also need to make sure that we are getting accurate information, real information, factual information. Data is not real anymore to the people anymore. It's whatever, who has the most likes.
Yeah.
So
I love the fact that you have a desire to teach young folks or just the public about all those things you just mentioned. Part of this project is not just to have interviews and conversations, but it's to follow up and get involved and participate somehow. If we had an opportunity, I would love to add on to that. Let's talk about just real briefly the chaos that's going on nationally. right, at the national level. Do you feel any of that at this level?
I would say the ice raids to me is the more things that I would say I probably would feel concerns about the residents here having to go through that. The youth, I remember I asked my son if any, because he has a lot of Latino friends, and I asked them like, is everybody in school? Like, is anybody not out of school? Are they afraid to come to school or in the beginning stages? And not to say that they are illegal here, but just like shoot, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
And my family's ancestors from the South, like to some degree, when I left the country, I was afraid of that.
scary times.
It is,
And,
so.
and if I'm not mistaken, East Hartford is near the top of the list. I think second after Danbury, maybe in terms of the increase in immigrant population
I
over the
don't.
last however many years.
I wouldn't know the specifics on it. I haven't really looked at that particular data, but as for some of the stuff that's happening in the country, like the stuff happening in Texas,
Yeah,
um, and the redistricting, as well as I think the ICE raids are the one thing I think most people are concerned about, because our population, we have a high population of, I would gather, of immigrants. I'm not sure who it may possibly may be undocumented, so I don't know the data on that. And so, but that's scary
yeah,
to see that anyone should have to, like I said, I myself am afraid at one point in time. I may be targeted for whatever reasons. And you could sit in a jail and literally be legitimate here
lost.
and just having to wait for the time on the case and it could be just have to wait it out. Or I read an article about a lady in Rocky Hill who literally was born citizen, and she had to hire a lawyer and, stuff like that and walk around with her papers. It was just unreal.
Kids and I like to go on, I'd like to take them on a trip every year. We cancel it this year just because I just don't know, right? So it's a scary time.
Right,
Scary
exactly.
times.
So, I mean, I haven't heard of anybody that I know per se who has been affected by the ice raids. I do know they were in East Hartford at one point in time. So I don't know. It's just that I think I'm more concerned about. And I know we've informed people of their rights. We've had that information circulated. We didn't have, I know we wanted to have the ACLU come in and just talk to people about that. I think they had them in the library. I've informed people, I've posted it about information of things that they should do to know their rights and how to respond. So in terms of that, other political wise, the stuff that's happening in the country, I would say get in the 4 or 5 slots to take over the House next year. I know the Congressman Larson, he's being challenged this year. So the midterms are something that we are, looking at and seeing how that will prevail democracy here. So for the most part, municipal elections are happening this year. And we seem to be in a pretty good space. We're not really good. The mayor is the only one being challenged on the slate. So the Republicans pretty much, I think we're doing a pretty good job right here.
That's a
So
good thing.
yeah,
That's a good
they don't really challenge us too much on our seats. So I think that's a good thing. He's Hartford.
One of the concepts I deal with both consulting as well as this project is vulnerability when you're building community and looking to sustain partnerships, things like that. In your position, um, how would you characterize vulnerability and your need to be vulnerable as a public official?
I think vulnerability, I like transparency. So I feel like I like to make sure that people understand what, like I said, how government works.
Yeah.
I like for people to understand where I stand on any issue as it is. Whether it be East Hartford or community or the town committee. I had my first campaign meeting last night, Zoom, and I was very transparent for the new people coming in. I wanted them to understand the process of what it was. So transparency, being authentic and having integrity is important for me. I want people to, I'm a woman of my word. I want you to understand what you're getting into, know your bylaws, know the ordinances, know the laws that what the law says what we should do. Um, and just making sure that that's clear to people. Knowing that this is this is an elected position that you are, but this is you signed up to do it. These is what it consists of, right?
Follow through for the people.
Right. So you got to knock as many doors as you can. You got to fundraise this amount. This is what we're all on the same ticket. We're all here to support each other. Transparency, understanding what you're getting into, clarity of what it is. So for me, it's just transparency more. Vulnerability sounds like people got you in a bind because they know something about you, or I don't know.
I get it.
I'm not saying that I'm not vulnerable, but I prefer.
Well, that's
to
why I
be-
asked,
yeah.
because in this arena, I expected that word was gonna hit you a little differently, right? In this
Okay.
arena, you know, if I'm talking to artists or whatever, it's a different feel. But glad you changed it to transparency. It makes a lot more sense. So the last question I have is a kind of weird one, but I ask everybody: what's your favorite sound?
Sound.
Sound.
I'm a music person. Um, I like the sound of the ocean waves at night.
Okay.
Love, love, love a ocean wave sound. I also love Caribbean music. I'm a soca lover, so but for me, ocean waves does it. It really just gives me a certain relaxation. And Caribbean music, soca music does it for me too.
Well, a combination of soca music and waves at night sounds pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to thank you for participating in this podcast. I know I kind of called you out of the blue, and I really appreciate you agreeing. I want you to know that I mean it in terms of getting involved and playing some type of role in what you're trying to do. And so if there's a need, I will follow through and I'll show up.
Do you golf?
I don't, but again, so that's where vulnerability comes in, right? I would try.
We have a golf fundraiser coming up next month on the 19th.
Okay.
So it's $100. Tee off is at 2 p.m.
Okay.
We have the meal portion only. You just come to eat for $50.
Okay.
The governor and Eric Russell will be there.
So I can eat and pretend I'm golfing.
This is true.
I like it. I like it. Wow.
I actually don't golf, but I'm looking to see if I can try this year. We'll see.
All right. Well, we'll see how that works. I think I'm going to come regardless.
Yes, I just recently posted it. I can send you the advertisement. It's in East Hartford at our golf course.
Okay.
It's an annual golf course that we do every year.
Okay.
It's really fun, trying to increase the town committee, make it more social, make it more engaging.
Right.
So that is my aim. Hopefully, I won't put a year to it. So I'm
Right.
going to say hopefully in another 2 years or so more, I can bring in some more youth to who want to, try some fun things. I think I think people look at, politics and it's just a dreary thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's all about how you do it, right?
Right.
You can make it fun. You can
Yeah,
make
if
it
you think it's-
interesting.
yeah.
Correct. So, make it fun and engaging. We could do some social. I did a margaritas fundraiser. We did a wine tasting fundraiser. And now we're doing a golf. We have our annual golf fundraiser.
These
So,
are great ideas. Yeah.
just making it interesting and fun. We'll keep it. We'll see how we can do. Keep it going.
Well, I appreciate you, not only for participating here, but for doing your job every day. And I'm sure the town agrees. And hopefully this is not the last time we'll talk.
I heard it's a thankless job, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know how much people really happy about the work that I do. I enjoy doing it. So
Well, then
I
it
think
must
more
not
importantly,
be.
I don't know if people, there are probably people who say, thank you, Sabrina, thank you for stepping in and doing stuff that I probably would never do, right? It requires a lot of hours, a lot of time away from your family. But it's work that needs to get done.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is halftime.